What's up, A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live? It's the halftime show, and the Titans are down by 11 against the Philadelphia Eagles. The score 21-10. The Titans do get the ball to start the second half, but Traylon Burks currently out because of a head injury, getting evaluated for concussion. We have a lot to talk about, including A.J. Brown scoring 2 touchdowns. One gets called back, then the very next play gets one that counts. And a lot of injuries stacking up against the Titans on defense and on offense, plus allowing some big plays by the Eagles, has Philly up 21-10 in the A.J. Brown reunion game. So we're here to discuss a lot of these things here on this halftime show. Sam Phelan today in with Austin Stanley on A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live, the halftime show presented by all of our great season-long sponsors, including Buddy Allen Carpet One, Buddy Allen Carpet One, Nashville.com, Mr. Good Roof, giving you guys $500 off when you mention A to Z Sports on a full roof replacement. Barton Insurance, Middle Tennessee's premier insurance provider for both personal, home, and auto. Barton Insurance Group, LLC.com, Crumble Cookies. Download that app because of the Crumble Cookies you can take advantage of near you. And BetMGM with our code ATOZ Sports, risk-free bet up to $1,000 with your first bet on pro football. Sam, what's your initial takeaway from that first half? There's a lot of things to discuss. A jam-packed, drama-filled, controversial first half with the Eagles up 11.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I could say off the bat. Number one, obviously, my pregame prediction proven to be very wrong. The Eagles are just going to the air raid, and pathetic performance by the Titans pass rush and secondary in the first half. Really just giving them everything they want. I think it's been a frustrating half with some soft penalty calls that have really kind of gone the Eagles' way that are just egregious, pathetic penalty calls. I think the NFL is broken watching some of this officiating in this game, but no Traylon Burks. It hurts. The Titans, turns out, 3 wide receivers, with 2 of them being Nick Westbrook-Akine and C.J. Board. Not exactly the recipe for offensive success. You've got no separation, no pass rush. You're getting beat deep regularly. You just don't have the horses in this game. It's very, very frustrating to watch on a number of levels here. And Dennis Daly, I could do this entire halftime segment about the series of events that occurred on that last Titans drive where he single-handedly probably cost them 4 points.
Yeah, and that would have been 4 massive points, right? Because Dennis Daly had the false start on 3rd and 1 inside the 10-yard line. You cannot have a false start on that in that situation at all. And the Titans' red zone woes continue. But Dennis Daly has one mistake turn into another mistake because the false start takes it from a 3rd and 1 to a 3rd and 6. Then he just allows an easy sack on Tannehill for a Randy Bullock field goal. And that's just something that Sam, I'm going to toss it to you. And we got a lot of things on this, but I'm going to ask you this question. Which is worse, Dennis Daly's performance as the Titans left tackle, or the fact that the Titans don't think they have a better option at left tackle than Dennis Daly? What's worse in this scenario?
Probably the second one, because the first one is so bad. So the fact that the second one is a thing, I think it's just terrible. It's a terrible spot to be in. Like you look at last week and you say, well, the Titans have been bad in the red zone. That's why they lost that game. Why are they so bad in the red zone? Why can they not get into these drives? Why can't they figure it out? It's plays like that. We talk nonstop about you don't want to be in 3rd down and long. You don't want to be in an obvious passing down when your wide receivers have to create separation. Ryan Tannehill's limited in mobility and your offensive line can't pass block. You're in a 3rd down and 1. That is a textbook touchdown, pick up a first down scenario that the Titans want to be in for Derrick Henry, and your left tackle is a liability that costs you 4 points with 2, not 1, 2 bad plays in a row. He makes up for his false start by immediately giving up a sack and costing you 4 points. And when you're playing good teams like the Eagles, mistakes like that are inexcusable and they lose you a football game. And it's what's going to lose the Titans this football game, because right now we could be sitting here saying, you know what, that was bad. You're down 1 score. But no, it feels like this is snowballing out of control for Tennessee right now. And you have to look at plays like that. Dennis Daly, some of the bad penalties on the secondary, just getting beat by A.J. Brown time and time again down the field, whether it's Christian Fulton or Trey Avery there. I mean, and Titans fans want to say, how is that not offensive pass interference? There's nothing A.J. Brown can do in that situation when Christian Fulton essentially initiated the contact by running into him because he didn't know where A.J. Brown was.
Yeah, just to clear that up, right? It sucks because I do think offensive pass interference is a myth at this point in the NFL. But when a defensive back impedes the route by the wide receiver, whether he falls down or does anything purposefully or accidentally, it doesn't matter. Now, A.J. Brown took full advantage of it by shoving over Christian Fulton. I think a no call should have been the correct call, but still ends up being a touchdown either way, by A.J. Brown either way. I do think, like you said, the roughing the passer penalties, both of them on the Titans, were frustrating to see, but the Titans got away with that too because Bud Dupree ended up making a play and sacked and fumbled on Jalen Hurts, so that you got away with that. But here's the other thing that gives you that sucks if you're watching this from a Titans perspective. The injuries are stacking up. You're playing against one of the most talented, the best record in the NFL in the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're down your best offensive playmaker in Treylon Burks outside of Derrick Henry, who's been shut down today. You're down, I think, your best defensive playmaker this season in David Long Jr., who's currently questionable to return. And you're down Christian Fulton, who might have been burned by A.J. Brown on those touchdown plays, but he's still your best corner. Now you're out there with two rookies playing against Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. It's not a good situation for the Titans to be in at all.
No, I said when that touchdown happened, too, I tweeted it out. I just said I trade that touchdown 10 out of 10 times to have Treylon Burks healthy, not just for the rest of the season. If this concussion is something that keeps him out, you hate to see it for Treylon Burks. Number one, a guy that really has started to come into his own, gain a lot of confidence and make some plays. Like, that's just terrible to see. But two, for the rest of this game, and now you're left with what I said. Nick Westbrook-Akine is what he is. He's a blocked first wide receiver that's valuable to have on your roster in those situations. But CJ Board has not taken an offensive snap the entire season. He has not taken one offensive snap. He's your number 3 option.
He on? I think I did see him out there for a snap
earlier in this game.
Today,
I'm saying entering this game, he was had not taken one. Now he's your number 3 wide receiving option. And like the Titans or the Eagles rather have a good defense. Like they can contain Robert Woods if they make it their mission. So you're left with guys that have no business being NFL playmakers, trying to be NFL playmakers. It's a bad recipe, but this is the situation that you put yourself in by going into the game with 4 active wide receivers. And I mean, you reap what you sow at some point for the Titans. They don't have the horses right now to hang with Philly.
Yeah, and again, that is frustrating because the Treylon Burks injury, it seems like each time Treylon Burks has started to really put things together, he had the turf toe after a solid first half against Indianapolis early in the season, missed 4 straight games. He's come back, done nothing but make plays the last couple of weeks, makes an incredible catch for his first receiving touchdown, and takes an absolute cheap shot. I don't care if Eagles safety Marcus Epps meant to do it or not. That play, that hit on Treylon Burks has no place in football in this century. That is something that every defensive back is coached not to do. You cannot have a defenseless receiver across the middle of the field and hit him high. And Marcus Epps went straight to the face of Treylon Burks. And it's unfortunate too, because the NFL needs to fix this. And dumbass, he get ejected, right? No, he didn't get ejected. He got a 15-yard penalty that was basically inconsequential because the Titans enforced it on the kickoff. And so the biggest, the consequence the Eagles got on that hit to Treylon Burks was their next drive starting at like the 16-yard line. And Treylon Burks is probably out for the game. Who knows what's going to happen next week? We just saw Ben Jones miss back-to-back games with a concussion. And so who knows what's going to happen with Burks long-term. The NFL is going to fix that. I hate the targeting rule in college football, but these are pros. Like professional players know that they cannot do that. They all know the whole goal is to get out of here and stay healthy. And Marcus Epps did something that you cannot absolutely do in football, in the NFL at all, in this decade, in this century.
And it shows how out of touch the NFL is to me, because like you have plays like that going on that are essentially inconsequential penalties, no ejections, really no repercussions for the Eagles at all, other than having to start the drive from the 16 or whatever, like you said. And then you've got Jalen Hurts getting touched, diving to the ground, getting touched down by Mario Edwards, who just trying to go and touch the quarterback, getting called for an unnecessary roughness, 15-yard automatic first down, extending drives. That's the issue with the NFL. Like, it's so out of touch. It's so inconsistent. Those penalties do not equate to each other. Edwards shouldn't even have a penalty, let alone be put in the same ballpark as what Epps did to Treylon Burks in the end zone there. And I'm not going to sit here and blame the officials for this game. Like you said, like those calls ended up not coming to fruition. The Titans got off the field on that drive. It didn't directly lead to points. It's just that the Titans have really, really been a frustrating team to watch this afternoon with how close they've been and how they've shot themselves in the foot, and then some just unfortunate luck.
Yeah, and so I'm going to get to the chat here in a second more, but Jameson says it's bang bang playoffs, and then Chris Fontes says, dude, this is football. The hit was illegal, but the defender was clearly trying to make a play. No, Chris Fontes, like, you know what you're coached to do there? You're coached to use your hands. Like, if you're the safety, if you're the defensive back or the defender in that situation, leading with your shoulder and helmet is illegal. And that's putting the other player in a very dangerous situation. So what you do there is you lead with a punch, a two-handed chest press punch to the defensive back to try to make a play on the football to disrupt. I'm not saying let him catch it and come down the end zone free, but you cannot absolutely lead with your shoulder or your helmet. That is being coached out of football at every level. And it's ridiculous if you think it's not. And so let's move on from that. I think it's unfortunate that happened, and we'll see what happens with Burks moving forward. I definitely don't expect him back. But let's go ahead and ask this question to everybody, Sam. What's your confidence level in the Titans winning this game versus the Eagles? What is your confidence level in the Titans winning this game versus the Eagles? Down 21-10. Titans do get the ball to start the second half here coming up here just in a few minutes. But Sam, I'm going to go ahead and let you answer, and then we'll get to the chat here in a second. Confidence level 1 through 10 in the Titans winning. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, 2. I'm surprised. Like, if you showed me this game and kept the scoreboard kind of hidden from me and asked me what the score was, I'd think it was worse than 11. I guess there is a world where the Titans can flip this around if they finally start doing what they are committed to doing and do it well. But it feels like they're overmatched. I have a hard time seeing them get regular stops against Jalen Hurts in this offense with the way that they have not pressured the quarterback.
Let me answer real quick because the game's about to start again. I think the only way they can the Titans can win is if the Eagles go away from their aggressive passing game and try to run, and that's how the Titans get stops. But, we'll have to figure out. The Titans have to score points on this drive right now, and they got the ball on the 21-yard line with CJ Board's return. So, guys, we will see you for the post-game show. Enjoy the second half. I'm in a 2.5 chance the Titans can win this game. 2.5 here, but not great. So we'll see you guys for the post-game show. Enjoy the